Welcome back to the Great Give Radiothon. On WNHH FM, your home for community radio, 103.5 FM, live stream at newhavenindependent.org. I'm here with Ratasha Smith, and we're having a great time because what we're doing is we just hear about how great some people in New Haven are and the great work they do. We're part of the 36-hour Great Give that the Community Foundation puts on, where we're asking people to donate money to all sorts of great nonprofits. We're trying to raise $1.5 million over 36 hours. It can be done. Last year was $1.3 million. Mm-hmm. And you just pick all the groups you like to give to. Just give something to them. We're asking, if you think of it, to please give to us here at WNHH. We're a not-for-profit station under Online Journalism Project, or just WNHH. You'll find us. Natasha Smith, how are we doing at this hour on The Great Give?
We are at $257,000. So we're 2 hours in. So I think we're going to hit that 1.5. I feel confident this year.
We got to work that. And so, and Natasha, remind people, if you don't mind, I know I ask you this a lot, how do they give money to the Great Give? How do
you want to give money to one of the 488 organizations, you will go to thegreatgive.org. Don't forget thegreatgive.org.
And then what do you do when you're there?
When you're there, you can search the nonprofit that you already know about and you love, or you can search by different issue areas and find something else you might learn to love and donate to any of the 488 organizations on the website.
I just got a great idea.
What?
There's a really easy way people can make a big difference. When they're at thegreatgive.org, they could type in just 4 letters, F-I-S-H, fish.
I was going to type
in P-H-I-S-H, but I realized that was the band. They just type in fish. And someone's in our studio right now who's going to tell us why that would make a big difference. Her name is Jillian Crowley. You run Fish?
I do. I'm the executive director at
Fish. Executive Fish. Thank you so much for coming on the Great Give Radiothon, Jillian Crowley.
Thank you for having me. We are so happy and proud to be able to talk about the work we do at Fish. It's really pretty amazing.
But you're first going to have to sing or recite for your supper, Jillian.
Oh, okay.
What'd you bring us?
I brought you a Billy Collins.
Oh, I love Billy Collins. He used to be poet laureate, and they used to put his stuff in the New York Times, like after 9/11 and stuff. I think I can really write.
He certainly can. I won't do the whole thing, but I love this.
Do all you want. We got time.
I have never been fishing on the Susquehanna, or on any river for that matter, to be perfectly honest. Not in July or any month have I had the pleasure, if it is a pleasure, of fishing on the Susquehanna. I'm more likely to be found in a quiet room like this one, with a painting of a woman on the wall and a bowl of tangerines on the table, trying to manufacture the sensation of fishing on the Susquehanna.
Awesome. Nice. I think
Thank you.
You read that very well.
Well,
but I have a feeling you had a reason you picked that one. Why'd you pick that poem?
Well, I think that the work that so many of the nonprofits in New Haven do are just part of a larger tapestry. And we often find ourselves at moments in our life like maybe we're fishing or we're at the grocery store, we're walking down the street, and we're thinking, if I had an extra minute, there's something I'd do to make somebody else's life better. There's something I'd do to step in or chip in or try and affect a positive change. And the thing that's amazing about this community is that there really has been a consciousness of how we can all be engaged together and how we can all do our little part to move this juggernaut forward of creating community and caring for everyone in our community so that we feel that everyone has a voice and everyone can be served with dignity and
of course,
kindness.
Your group is called Fish. Billy Collins wrote about fishing. Well, what is Fish? Why is it called Fish, and what do you do?
Fish is the acronym for Food and Service to the Homebound.
Oh, okay. You deliver.
We deliver pantry groceries to people who are homebound, who cannot leave their homes.
And who need the food.
And who are low income. So there are two qualifications to be participating in the Fish program. One is that you are unable to practically or physically take advantage of the local network of pantries that are in the area or soup kitchens. The second is that you would be low income. And we have a pretty extensive and well thought out process for bringing people into the program. And once we qualify them as a Fish client, we are often one of the few agencies that really reach out and serve this population on a very regular basis because we deliver once a month. We deliver 2 weeks of groceries. that are really beautifully assorted, very nutritionally sound, and it's a very nice offering of food. So we feel that we're really bringing a little bit of nutrition, stabilization, but also pleasure to people's lives that are often the overlooked ones. You know, people that can kind of slide under the radar because they're homebound. It's hard for them to get out.
Where's Fish based?
Right now, our pantry is in West Haven. We sublet a small space from Marrakesh, who is one of our key partner agencies, which is another thing I could talk about. But yeah, so Fish is like it's a tapestry. We call it FOF, Friends of Fish. There are literally hundreds and hundreds
Does
of
anyone
people.
ever get confused and think of the band? You get all these people camping out. And
I've had a few friends say that I should find a way to contact them and get them to do a fundraiser for me because,
Oh.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
so now, how
I
many?
like Trey Anastasio. Maybe he likes us. Who knows? Maybe he's found us online.
Jillian, how many households do you deliver food to every week? Or
Boy,
every 2 weeks?
it's pretty amazing. So, out of our small pantry with a huge cadre of volunteers, we serve 400 families comprised of about almost 800 to 900 individuals every
Wow.
month.
Wow.
How many volunteers?
Hundreds, literally hundreds of volunteers. So, the way that the format is set up, we are extraordinarily efficient and direct, right? So, we deliver groceries to people that would ordinarily be trying to get to a pantry by fit or by fiddle. But the way that we're able to operate with such effectiveness and low cost overhead is that we use all of the volunteers who are willing to help make deliveries and pack our bags for us. But the real magic to me happens at two times. Of course, we are passionate about serving our clients and wanting to help ameliorate some of the difficulties that they face. But Fish is also a home for the partner agencies that come every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, to help us with the packing and delivery functions. And most of these groups work with the cognitively impaired. So our volunteer organizations are Marrakesh, Ben Haven, Chapel Haven, Opportunity House.
So
Easter
this
Seal.
becomes the way that people who help get the food ready to be delivered are also having themselves help by having something productive to do through their agencies.
Brilliant
Beautiful.
insight. Thank you for saying that. So one of the things that I'm really proud of is that Fish is a really wonderful destination for a cohort of people that often also experience marginalization. But we create a welcoming, respectful, compassionate environment where they can actually socialize with other friends. They look forward to their day at Fish because they get to have some really meaningful, success-oriented projects available to them. And when the magic really happens is when that same group that might do a packing on a Tuesday gets to deliver to a person who's homebound on a Thursday, because then they realize they're giving back as well. So we know that although technically our mission is to serve people groceries who are homebound, provide 2 weeks worth of meals, the other side of it is we provide a home for a whole cadre of people who get to come and socialize and feel empowered and needed and appreciated for their ability to give back.
And we're appreciating the work of Fish here on the Great Give Radiothon, our annual 36-hour blowout. Sorry, what?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Our great 36-hour blowout here at WNHH FM in conjunction with the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. We're asking people to go online and give money over this 36 hours to some of the 488 nonprofits doing great work in our community. There'll be prize money available, matching donations. And Ratasha, how are we doing with that?
We have $266,000 raised, actually close to $267,000 so far. So I'm excited.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we go to thegreatgive.org.
Yes, we're going to
That's right.
Don't forget the.
Yes.
Don't forget the.
And hopefully they're typing in fish.
That's right. So we want you to go to
Exactly.
Fish because Fish is a food pantry that's been around since how long?
50 years. We've
50
been in
years, 50.
continuous operation for 50
Huh.
years.
Wow.
And as it happens, September 25th of this year, we'll be celebrating with a gala at Anthony's Ocean Views. So please
Why,
keep an
everyone
eye
goes
on
to
it.
Congratulations.
Anthony for those galas.
Because they do it really well.
Yes.
It's just hard to
And-
get good pictures unless you have a great camera because the light's kind of low.
Well, we're doing a daytime event, sir.
Okay, there you go. We'll get you out on the patio. Yeah. That place is huge by the water. It's nice.
Yes. So September 25th, and this is our one and only gala. It's a one-off event. We're really excited about it, and we're hoping to be able to thank a lot of our supporters there at the time, one of which is the Community Foundation. So I just have to say for a moment, I've been the director at Fish since June of 2016. And amongst the nonprofit communities in the area, I've received so much support and help from so many other EDs. But the Community Foundation's unique because they really give you structured and specific help and financial support. I have called in many, many times their expertise and been really grateful for it. So
Well,
thanks
thank
to
you.
the foundation.
So, Jillian, you say you've been here since 2016. What's your background? How did you come to this work?
I've been in private business my whole life. I've been in sales and marketing. Most recently, I was a realtor in Florida. And
In
so
Florida,
this is
what brought you up here?
my husband's work. Yeah, he went to work for the Bilco company.
Mhm.
And so,
I thought they left town.
well, he's with another company now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they did.
So how did you go from marketing, sales, and real estate to spending your days making sure that hundreds of people get food delivered to their homes?
I had served on the board for about 2 years, and our executive director took a position with the city of New Haven as the food policy director.
And she's gone now, yeah.
Yeah, and so we just, I was part of the executive search committee.
Oh, really? Then you said, hey, I'm in the, really? And how does that
Put my
work?
name in the hat.
Usually you're not supposed to be going for a job when you're picking the next person.
Yeah, well,
How
when
did
you
that
when you
happen?
interview dozens of people and there's just not the right fit, so it ends up being sometimes.
Well, did people go around the room and start pointing fingers, say you, no you, like we really need somebody? How'd that happen?
I wasn't working at the time. I'd been here for 5 years. I was ready for a new challenge. I was looking forward to understanding more intimately what nonprofits really did because it was a term that I'd heard my whole life. And when I was raising my kids and moving around the world, I was like, someday I'm going to really help in a nonprofit because that sounds like a great thing.
And how do the skills you developed in the private sector help you in doing this job, and how is it different?
That is such a good question. So I do bring a real business mindset to this work. And one of the first things that I was very committed to was that we had a certain amount of capacity that was being underutilized. And because we serve people who are in such dire straits, it felt like a crime to me that we were not close to capacity at all times. So my first mission was to refine who it was that we served and to make sure that anybody that needed us got our services.
How did you do that? How did you find more? And
I started partnering with other agencies, so I would go
We've
out
been
and
talking
speak.
about
That's
that.
a
Already a
trend,
theme
yeah.
today. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I went out
Collaboration.
and spoke to the Clifford Beers Organization, to Yale New Haven Health, to DSS, to DHS, to the public schools, to Continuum of Care, to all the organizations that might serve a vulnerable population like the one that we look to help, and explain to them how easy it was to plug into the FISH program. Basically, it's a hotline. You call a hotline number. We take you
What
through
number?
the entire process, and if you qualify, we serve you.
What's the number?
The number's 203-503-0106.
And then, we talked about Steve Werlin about how these challenges are interrelated, housing and hunger. So basically you're saying if people are having other kinds of challenges that agencies are helping them with, mental health, poverty, housing, those people might need a meal. And so are you saying that by checking in with those groups, you got more people hooked in to get the food and that you didn't have to spend more money, you didn't have to ramp up the staff because you had
Yeah, pretty
below
much. I
capacity.
mean, exactly. I think that we put in place a lot of efficiencies in the way that the organization was operated, and that also came from my business background. I kind of went fiercely after writing grants and figured that trick out, which is a mysterious little process all
grants
in
are
itself.
tricky because then they run out.
Well, so you're always writing them. It's a continual process, and certainly my sales training provided good fodder for that. So you're never done with trying to fundraise. You're never done with
Do you have
trying
to do
make
a lot
people.
of schmoozing and like go to get dressed up a lot to go to stuff to meet people
No,
and donors? Good.
No, we're a really under the radar direct service organization. So there's not a lot of glamour to it. We don't have any vendors. Like it's a challenge for me at the gala. Like, who am I going to have sponsor this? We don't have any vendors.
Well,
The
I love the way
Connecticut Food
you-
Bank is our biggest partner.
I love the way that you got the people with special needs who come in for free as part of their work to do stuff. So that's how you're spending less money but actually creating more value. And
Absolutely.
getting more done.
And that, all the packing and 80% of our deliveries are done that way. 20% of our deliveries are done by volunteers in the community. So we have 2 alders that come in. Shout out to both Frank Douglas and Sal
Awesome.
DeCola,
Oh, that's interesting.
who come every week without fail and often bail us out when we're short a
Frank's
delivery
from
person.
and they're both retired. Frank's from the Dwight neighborhood. He worked for
Yes.
Yale for a long time, and Sal was a postal carrier. He lives out in Morris Cove.
That's right.
and they put their
that's
money where
right.
their mouth is. The way
They
have it.
sure do.
So they come out of their own time. And what do they do at Fish?
They get to participate in our marvelously efficient operation. They show up and they load up their car in 10 minutes and they're gone.
So they deliver
And they
food
go
to
and
people.
make deliveries. Exactly.
Oh, no.
So it's
So
a very
so
smooth.
what was in this week's? What were
machine.
people getting in their fish deliveries this week?
Oh my gosh.
Do they get fish?
Yes, we usually have pollock or tilapia. We do a bag of
Oh,
frozen
so you got to keep
protein.
that. You got to keep that. Oh, frozen. You got to keep stuff fresh. Because I remember when I helped the Jewish Family Services years ago, everything was non-perishable.
Well, that's the bulwark or the foundation of what we deliver. Much of our food comes from the food bank, the Connecticut Food Bank, and it's pantry staples. But interestingly, 40% of the food that we distribute comes from community food drives. So those would be schools or small civic clubs or many other types of organizations. And then last summer, I put together a long-range plan of getting some refrigerator capacity, and then I partnered with Massaro's Organic Farms in Woodbridge. Yep. We bought several shares of their CSA for our clients, but then what we did is also took their bumper crops. So in many cases, when they would have 40 cases of cucumbers, we were the organization that got to take away 20 of them because we deliver every day, 5 days a week. That's the only way you can serve that many people. So we're a full-time operation, 5 days a week, all month long. And providing the fresh produce is really a wonderful thing that we've been able to do.
I see that business mindset. I see it.
Thank you,
Jillian
Natasha.
Crowley, thanks for the great work you do at Fish, keeping people fed in our community.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here
Thanks
this
for bringing
morning.
Billy Collins into our studio today.
Thank you.
So remember, folks, for the Great Give, where they go again, Natasha?
TheGreatGive.org.
Online. Go to thegreatgive.org and type in 4 letters. Not hard to remember. FISH, Fish. You heard from Jillian Crowley, the great work they're doing. And we're on the Great Give for 36 hours, urging everybody to help groups like Fish get the help they need. Jillian, thanks for coming in.
Thank
you.
Folks,
Thank
we're
you
going to
so
take
much.
a 1-hour break from the Radiothon. We have a very special guest coming into the studio who has a new book about Weatherman, the underground radical movement of the 60s. He has a new memoir out that is going to surprise you. It's not like some of the other stuff you've read about the 60s. His name's Jonathan Lerner. We're going to do that at 11 o'clock. And then we're going to be back with our Radiothon at noon, going all the way through tomorrow afternoon, helping do good for our community. This is Paul Bass at WNHH-FM. Sit tight with the Afro-Semitic Experience with I Wish I Knew How It'd Feel to Be Free. And we'll be right back at you.